You said you'd help me out if you could. Well, my job is taking me far away. To move the children just wouldn't be good. If you will stay, you will come and stay. You'd be the best and a girl ever had. Dear Aunt Agnes, dear Aunt Agnes, won't you come and stay? Dear Aunt Agnes, dear Aunt Agnes, won't you come and stay? Dear Aunt Agnes, dear Aunt Agnes, won't you come and stay? Dear Aunt Agnes.
Yoo-hoo, I'm home. Andrew? Alex, I'm home. Oh. Thank you, they're very heavy. Am I in the right house?
I don't know.
I mean, everything else looks familiar, but you.
I'm Eddie. I go to school.
Oh, how do you do? You must be in Alex's class. Well, you're a bit too young to be a teacher. You go to school with Gary.
I go to school with Andrew. He's my friend.
Oh, well, that explains everything. Almost. Aren't you a little old to be in Andrew's class?
Yes, but I'm handicapped.
Oh. Well, you look all right to me.
In here, it takes me longer to learn things.
Oh, well, as long as you learn them in the end, what does it matter how long it takes, I always say. Right, Teddy?
Eddie.
Oh, if you say so. Now, where's Andrew?
He went to the store to get some paper. He took his bike. We're doing a science project together. We're a team.
Oh, how nice.
Can I help you put those away?
Well, that's very sweet. They all go in the cupboard over there, and the cans go on the right and the packets on the left. Thank you very much.
Cans on the right. Right. Cans on the right. Cans on the right.
You know, I had a cousin once, and she could never remember which way was right and which way was left. So you know what she did? Every day, she'd put a Band-Aid on her finger, just like this. Do you know why she did that every day?
Her finger was sore?
Nope. On the Band-Aid, she'd write a big letter R for right. So she always knew which way was which. Now, don't you think that is a very clever idea, Freddie?
Eddie.
Whatever.
Cans on the right. Right. Packets on the left. Left.
Hey, Eddie, I've got everything we need.
Andrew, hey.
Have you met Aunt Agnes yet?
Yeah, she's nice, but she doesn't remember names at all.
Don't worry about it. That's Aunt Agnes for you. Here's a sketch pad. Tonight we'll both try to think of ideas on our own. And tomorrow we'll meet back here, after school. Okay?
Okay. We'll do it good. Real good. I promise to work hard.
Me too.
Give me 5.
Right on!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Give me 5.
5 what?
I'll see you tomorrow, Eddie.
Right on.
Right on where?
What are you doing, Andrew? Trying to think of ideas for my project. Eddie Curtis and I are working on it together.
Eddie Curtis? You're kidding.
That Eddie seemed like such a nice boy.
Well, why did Mrs. Liston stick him with you? That's not very fair.
thought you liked him.
I do. He's a good guy. But this science project is very tricky, and I'm going to probably end up doing all the work myself.
What's the project about?
We have to design and build a model recreation center on the moon.
On the moon?
You mean like a moon motel?
Yeah, a moon motel. That's what we'll call it.
But who would want to go to the moon? There are perfectly lovely motels in Niagara Falls.
It's science, Aunt Agnes. We're only allowed a certain amount of water and power and space, and each detail has to be carefully worked out.
Well, maybe Eddie will have some ideas.
Maybe, but he's been in a special education class, and now he's with us. He's not too bright.
Let's face it, he's dumb.
Alex, that's not a very nice thing to say.
Well, it's true.
Is it? How long do you think it would take Gary to run around the block?
Pardon me?
How long do you think it would take Gary to run around the block?
About 4 minutes.
And if he did it in 8, what would you call him?
Lazy.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
All right, what about me? How long do you think it would take me to run around the block?
You? Oh, well, at least 10 minutes. You can't run half as fast as Gary.
All right, and if I did it in 10 minutes, what would you call that?
A miracle.
Well, I'd call it the best that you could do.
All right, so compared to Gary, I may be a slow runner, but I'm still doing the best I can.
So?
So, compared to other people, Eddie may be a slow learner, but that doesn't mean he's dumb. It's just that his handicap limits the speed that he can learn some things. But he's still doing the best he can.
But, well, wouldn't he learn faster if he was in a special class?
Depends. Some people need special classes, but others progress better in an ordinary class.
Even though it's not always easy for them.
I know. A lot of other kids make fun of Eddie.
Do you?
No, I like him.
Well, perhaps that's why your teacher put the two of you together.
And on this floor, a movie theater. And on this one, a restaurant. And then a gym. And the bottom floors are where the water, power, air filtration, and recirculation plants are. Well, I did most of it last night. What do you think?
No swimming pool.
Of course not. There's not enough water.
A swimming pool would be fun. An outside one, in the ground.
That's impossible. Even if we could recycle the water more than once. Where are we going to put the extra pumps and machinery? There's not enough room.
My mother and me went to Disneyland. She said all that stuff was underground.
Well, we'd have to find out how far we could dig into the moon's surface. But if we had a pool, we could have stairs leading up to the
No
top.
stairs.
Why not?
People own wheelchairs. They can't use stairs.
You're working late, pal.
Yeah. Gary, you see this resort? It's in the desert, and it doesn't have much water. But it still has a swimming pool. I'm trying to find out how they do it.
Why?
Eddie wants a swimming pool.
Well, it is a recreation center.
Yeah, he also wants ramps. But that's stupid. They're not going to send people in wheelchairs to the moon.
Don't be so sure, Andrew.
So the nice gentleman in the store said it's the latest style. Mind you, I have never been one to be dictated to by fashion. But I can't wait to have your opinion, Andrew, when we get home. Because, you know, I'm just not sure it's really me. Well, this could be a little awkward. I'll tell you what, Andrew, why don't I just run and return the books and you stay here with the groceries?
Oh, but I have to get another book for my project.
All right, well, I'll lift and you push. Oh, that's heavy. Oh, dear. I hope the eggs aren't broken. Oh, they seem all right.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You should have used the ramp.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, what do you think of my hat, Andrew?
Oh, it's you.
Thank you, Andrew. I'll take that. You bring the groceries.
Okay. And then there's the air and water pumps that goes down to the storage tanks. And up here we have a restaurant, and you can see ramps and a swimming pool.
All right.
I had to spread everything this way, so there was no room for a movie theater.
No movies?
Well, they could always watch television.
But I like movies.
Where would we put it?
Here.
There's no room. Don't you understand? The screen would hit the dome. We can't just build another whole floor.
Put the screen outside, like a drive-in.
Sure, if that's what you want. But where will the people sit? Wait a minute. If we put the screen on the dome, build it right onto it, the people could sit on the roof out in the open.
Good idea.
Yeah, give me 5.
Right on.
Now all we have to do is build it. Just put this in, and we're done. All right.
It's great.
Now all we have to do is explain it to everybody.
But I won't know what to say.
Oh, sure you will. When Mrs. Liston asks us how it works, we point to things and tell her.
No. I'll point. You talk.
Well, Dottie, I finally have my living room back. Oh, I can't tell you how pleased I was to see that moon thing go to school with them. Oh, yes, it was lovely. Oh, they did a wonderful job.
And Agnes!
I'll have to call you back, Dottie, okay? Right, bye-bye.
Guess what, Aunt Agnes? We got an A+.
Me too, an A+.
We got the highest mark in the class. Our Motel amazed them.
Well, congratulations. You should both be very, very proud.
It was my very first A+ ever.
Oh, that's wonderful, Eddie. And you worked so hard for it. Well, congratulations again.
Oh, excuse me for interrupting. The front door was open. I tried to phone earlier, but I couldn't get through.
Mrs. Liston.
Who's she?
Our science teacher. Mrs. Liston, this is my Aunt Agnes.
Oh, how do you do?
Perfectly well.
Quite. Well, boys, I wanted to reiterate on my earlier praise of your endeavors.
Are you sure she doesn't teach English?
And I've taken the liberty of entering your exhibit in the District Science Festival this Friday. That is, if you agree.
Really?
Great.
The festival is at Hart Street Public School this Friday evening. There'll be a panel of judges, and you'll be competing against projects from all over the district.
What do we have to do?
Oh, well, it'll be similar to what happened in class today, except that only one of you will be allowed to make the presentation and explain the design concept to the judges.
Why can't we both do it?
Against the rules. Oh, you see, there's so many class and group projects that it would be a lot easier and save a lot of time if just one student... of course, it's your decision who makes the actual presentation, but the judges are liable to ask some very, very difficult questions.
Well, Andrew talks best. He should do it. I want to phone my mom and tell her.
Oh, here's the phone.
Could you make your call in the kitchen, please, Andrew?
Oh, okay. Excuse me, please.
Have a seat, Mrs. Lister.
Liston.
Whatever. Isn't there some way that Eddie could be part of this presentation? He did just as much work on this project as Andrew did.
I'm sure he did, and I'm not taking that away from him. I think how happy Eddie will be if their project wins. But if Eddie makes the presentation and the judges ask him a question he can't answer, he will be embarrassed in front of a lot of people. And that's not a position I want to put him in.
I see your point. I'm not sure I agree with it, but I do see your point.
Okay, Mom. Yeah. On
Friday night.
Friday night. Okay. Bye. We're gonna win.
You bet. Listen, Eddie, are you sure you don't want to? Well, you know.
No. You know more. You made it all work. You got us an A+, and you can make us win.
Yeah, I think I can.
Hi, Eddie.
Hi, Alex.
What are you doing?
Waiting for Andrew.
Everyone says that your project is going to win.
Yeah, Andrew will win.
So will you.
Andrew's smart. He makes it work.
Yeah, I guess he can be pretty smart sometimes, when he's not being a real pain.
I like Andrew. Andrew's my friend.
He's okay. But remember, you did just as much work as he did.
Andrew will win.
You mean both of you will win. Listen, there's the bell. I gotta get back to class, but I'll see you soon. Well, how do I look?
Like the sister of a Nobel Prize winner. What time do we have to be there?
7:30.
Let's hope Aunt Agnes is ready. She's been in her room for hours.
Ta-da! Well, let's not all talk at once.
You look amazing, Aunt Agnes. Truly amazing.
Yeah.
There are no words.
Oh, thank you, dears. Well, Andrew, are you nervous?
A little.
Why? The whole school thinks you're a genius.
What about Eddie?
He thinks I'm a genius, too.
And are you?
Well, I did design the whole thing. The pool, the ramp, all the stuff that's underground.
I thought they were Eddie's ideas.
They were, but I made them work. That's what's important. Everybody says so, even Eddie.
Well, I just hope everyone remembers that Eddie has a part in this, too.
Uh-oh, it's time to go.
Hang on, I have to get my designs for the judges. project is very tricky, and I'm going to probably end up doing all the work myself.
Maybe Eddie will have some ideas.
A swimming pool would be fun. An outside one, in the ground.
He also wants ramps. But that's stupid. You're not going to send people in wheelchairs to the moon.
Don't be so sure, Andrew.
Put the screen outside, like a drive-in. You got us an A+, and you can make us win.
Yeah, I think I can. Where's Eddie? I can't see him.
I don't see him either, Andrew.
Maybe he decided not to come.
Andrew! Good evening, Andrew. Are you all ready for the big night?
Mrs. Liston, I've been thinking. I want Eddie to give this presentation. It would mean a lot to him.
That's a very generous thought, Andrew. But is it fair to Eddie to push him into trying to explain your designs?
Now, wait a second, Mrs. Lister.
Liston.
Whatever. Those aren't just Andrew's.
Oh, excuse me.
I do wish Andrew would change his mind. The judges won't make the questions any easier for Eddie.
Now, I know we're all trying to protect Eddie, but I think we're forgetting his real achievement. And what's worse, I think we're making Eddie forget it, too.
I'm just trying to save the boy from anguish.
His or yours?
What happened?
Eddie wouldn't do it. He said I was just trying to be nice to him.
Oh, well, you tried, Andrew. That's all you can do.
Testing, testing, testing. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our 5th annual District Science Festival Awards Ceremony. First of all, I'd like you to meet our distinguished panel of judges. First, Dr. Horace Smith, Chairman of Science at Markland University. Dr. Smith. And next, the entry from Earl Watson School, Moon Motel. And to make the presentation, Andrew Stefanidis. Andrew?
Our Moon Motel was designed and built by me and Eddie Curtis. And Eddie should be up here instead of me. You see, up until this year, Eddie was in a special education class. So everybody thinks I did all the work, even Eddie. But that's not true.
What's he doing?
Making me very proud.
This is my original sketch. And this is the one Eddie and I both worked on together. If it wasn't for Eddie, I would have handed this in. It was Eddie who came up with all the good ideas for our Moon Motel. Sure, I made some of them work, but they weren't my ideas. They were Eddie's. Because of Eddie, I'm here tonight. And that's why I want Eddie to come up here and give this presentation. Not because I'm trying to be nice to him, and not because he's my friend, but because he's the only person who should be giving this presentation. So, Eddie, would you come up, please?